She says her own daughter beat her bloody, and the judge makes one thing clear. If jail is what it takes to protect her, I won't hesitate.
Very familiar to me. Do you know how?
This is where things get serious. Assault of a family member isn't just a heated argument. Legally, it carries enhanced consequences, especially when there's a history. The court is already looking at this as a pattern, not a one-time mistake.
Maybe not. I represented a Morelli once, or Morgan Morelli, actually with the same name. That's why. Okay. Ms. Morelli, you are charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present if you cannot be appointed to you, man.
Okay. The officer spoke with the complainant, who is the defendant's mother, and who is also I apologize. Do you want me to keep going?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Sorry.
No problem. The officer spoke with the complainant, who is the defendant's mother, and was observed to be bleeding from her mouth and face. The complainant stated the defendant physically attacked her in the defendant's kitchen after a verbal argument.
Listen closely to the judge's tone here. This isn't frustration. This is a line being drawn. When a judge says, "I'll do it in a heartbeat," that's not a threat. That's a promise backed by the law.
About the complainant calling out the defendant for taking drugs. The complainant stated the defendant was beating the living hell out of me. The complainant stated she doesn't know exactly how many times the defendant struck her, so the defendant hit her numerous times with both hands and that she felt pain. The complainant stated they both had been drinking and had a couple margaritas, but that it was not the reason for the assault. The complainant stated she ran out of the defendant's house and back to her home, which is only a few houses down the street, to call for help. The complainant stated the defendant has a history of assaulting her.
There's a prior assault of a family member. Is that the same complaining witness? Let's see. Ma'am, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case, and I'm going to tell you now, I'm going to do everything in my power to protect every single person of this county, and if that means putting you in jail, I'm going to do it in a heartbeat. Do you understand? I'm sending you now for a drug test. I want to know what, if anything, is in your system, and then you're to come right back. If you fail to come back, or if you fail to take the drug test, I will revoke your bond, and I'm going to tell you now, you will not get any more PR bonds. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
As a condition of your bond, I'm forbidding you from having any contact with Diana Morelli whatsoever, not to consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, and I'm going to test you like crazy to make sure that you're not using. I'm also ordering you not to be in possession of weapons as well. I'm ordering you not to have contact with her. Can you find mom, please? Diana Morelli, please. Has a motive been granted in this case? Okay.
I just put it ready for you.
Okay. So, guys, it looks like the CW is here, so.
Judge, I have all spoken with CW, and she says that her and her daughter have fixed the situation between them.
This is a powerful moment. An emergency protective order flips the script. Even if the victim wants peace, the court's priority is safety. At this point, the case is no longer about forgiveness. It's about prevention.
No, it's a second assault. Every time I have, no. Doesn't matter.
Just go confirm with the CW.
Yeah, and well, I'm going to bring her in so that I
called.
can talk to her as well. Are you Miss Morelli?
Yes, sir.
Hi. Thank you so much for coming. Would you mind coming up, please? I told her that I'm going to do everything in my power to protect every single person of Harris County, no matter who it is, who they are, what is going on, and that I would, and if that means putting them in jail and making it $100,000 bond, I will do it in a heartbeat. I'm entering now what's called a magistrate's order for emergency protection that identifies you as a protected individual. Ms. Morelli, you cannot commit family violence or an assault against this person, commit an act in furtherance of an offense under section 42.072 of the Texas Penal Code, which is the stalking statute. You cannot threaten, harass, use another person to communicate a threat or harassing behavior. You cannot be in possession of a weapon or go within 200 feet of where she lives or where she works. Do you understand? This is a second assault alleged against you. The first one was dismissed. However, now I'm forbidding her from having contact with you. I've also forbidden her from consuming alcohol or illegal drugs. And I'm sending her now for a drug test because I want to know what, if anything, is in her system. I'm so much as even contemplating putting a device on her ankle so I know that she's not consuming any alcohol. She has a lot of prior violent behavior, you know, and I'm going to do everything in my power to quell it. This is the fifth, violent type of case that we have. And that's it. Historically speaking, every 2 years, there's a new case. Since 2018. Stops now. Do you understand? Okay.
Am I allowed to say anything?
Well, I'd rather not. She has a lawyer. You guys can talk to the lawyer. I've got a bunch of DAs here, and everything that you guys say can be used. And now's not the best time to talk about the case. The only thing I want to impart to you that you are now a protected individual, and I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure it stays like that so no one else puts their hands on you.
It's almost impossible for us to be able to follow because I'm
This right here is something most people don't understand. A DWI doesn't fade away. It follows you forever. Jobs, traffic stops, sentencing. Every future decision gets filtered through this one moment.
driving her back and forth to work and the 5,000 down.
Let's do this. I'm going to have her talk to the lawyer, and then we'll figure out something to do. Well, we'll talk. For now, what I want to do is I'm going to send her for a drug test because I want to know what, if anything, is in her system. And then we'll have her come back, and hopefully by then the lawyers will be here and then we can talk. Okay? So just don't leave for now. Okay? All right. I'm going to have you sign this order for protection now, and then we'll send you on your way, and then we'll see you back in half an hour. Okay?
All right, Judge, next is
In the interim, you can.
I'll speak to her. Miss Morelli,
Good morning, Mr. Silva. Good morning, Honor. Mr. Silva, you're charged with 2 cases. Shh. Charged driving while intoxicated. You're also charged with possession of marijuana. Is the weak case getting dismissed, Mr. Izaguirre?
Yes, the POM, yes, that's right.
Okay, so it looks like as part of the plea bargain agreement, they're going to dismiss the marijuana case against you. You're pleading on the DWI. You need to understand that the DWI will go on your record. It's going to be there for the rest of your life. It's even there after you die. This is important because when you get pulled over, what do you think an officer does?
You're gonna check if I'm either high or drunk.
Well, first thing, they're going to look at your record. They're going to see that you have a prior DWI. If they come up to you and smell alcohol or dope, what do you think they're going to do?
Arrest me, be back in the same situation I am today.
Right. What we're doing today, you will now forevermore be facing a minimum of 30 days in jail. Do you understand? No more proverbial slaps on the wrist from now on. It's a minimum of 30 days in jail.
Understand?
Okay. You give up a lot of rights by entering this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you are not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty, you can never change this. It will go on your record and it'll be there forever. Is this what you want to do? How do you plead to the offense of driving while intoxicated? I will find you guilty. I will send you to 3 days in jail. I'll give you credit for the 1 day that you've done. I'm going to suspend your license for 90 days. Do not drive until you get a license. Good luck, sir. Thank you.
On the third charge, I was worried about that. He's a dishwasher at Mambo's and makes $1,800. And besides every, the light, water, gas, he's got a quick cash loan, Judge, that they've had him for years. At the interest, he has to pay $450 twice a month on that.
What?
Yeah. So I'm
For
just
what?
for a loan that he borrowed some money, and I was just going over this.
That's insanity.
I had got a good
What
chunk
interest
of,
rate is that? 50%?
I think they said probably 40. They told me if I pay less than the minimum or don't pay past the minimum, they increased the payment wise. Before it was like
You need to
380.
get that thing paid off, man. They're
That's what I'm
taking you
trying to
for a
do.
ride and then some. That's lunacy.
I had to fix my truck. The transmission was messing up, so I needed to borrow a chunk of money to try to rebuild the transmission on
That's
it.
usurious.
Sorry.
That's usurious.
No, it's
Usury.
terrible. No. It's like, what? That's it.
You got to go pay that thing off, man. If you got to go sell the truck to go pay that thing off, that's what you got to do.
That's what I'm thinking about because right now I can't drive. It's messing up on me now. So
Even the court costs, Judge, we were, you know.
You know, it would cost you more or it cost you less to take an Uber everywhere than what you're paying for that payday loan. That's
well, at this point, I'm thinking about considering a bike to take to work, so I don't got to worry about Uber. I'm not too far from my job, so it won't be too much.
if you're paying that much money, you're better off renting an apartment close to the Mambo where you work and taking a bike than and sell your car to pay off that loan. That's
Bike
ludicrous.
ride to my house is like 20 minutes, 30 minutes at most. Not too far. But as of right now, I
Sí,
can't.
seguir. Okay, okay. But I'm going to tell you now, if you come back here with another DWI, I'm going to tell you what he's asking me to do is he's asking me to wipe off about $3,500 worth of court costs, fines, and fees to DPS that you would otherwise be paying today. When you get a DWI second, it hits around $7,500 and greater. Get ready because you come back with the DWI, it's very possible that that happens. Think before you get into a car. Even if you've had half a beer, you get pulled over, it's not going to go well. Don't get into a car, even if you've had a sip of alcohol. Do you understand? We're not going to play this game again. Okay. All right. You got it. Yeah. Okay. Yay. Are you dad? Stepdad. I'm so happy you're here. This is great. I'm going to bring him out now. And I got to say, I'm happy that you didn't bond him out. Great. He needs to learn that it's not a joke. And I think that so far he's been taking it as a joke. So essentially what we did was I had him evaluated to see what's going on in his life, what he's doing, where he's going. It's not gone well, you know, 9th grade education.
This is courtroom reality at its rawest. The judge isn't offering sympathy. He's offering a fork in the road. Freedom with structure or custody with control. And make no mistake, the clock starts now.
Got his GED, which is great, but it looks like it's just gone downhill. Coming up, Mr. Krumholtz.
I need them to slide it for me.
Guys, if you go that,
No, family.
no, you can't.
Come on around.
Okay, it's a security
I need
issue.
you this way for me. Counselor, I need you. Step this way. There you go. All right.
So the deal is this, is that the alcohol is kind of ravaged him. You know, we have self-destructive behavior. We've got memory loss, blackouts. From what is reported, wants to stop but can't stop kind of thing. The report says and indicates that you are to do intensive outpatient treatment program followed by supportive outpatient treatment program. I want to give you the chance to do this, Mr. Krumholtz, but I want you to understand that I'm not playing games. And that's why you are now still sitting in orange. And I'm not going to play this game with you again. I will give you but one opportunity to try to do this on your own. And if you're incapable of stopping, if you're incapable of doing it on your own, then I'm going to put you into an inpatient treatment facility. It's going to happen. It's whether are you going to be able to do it on your own? If not, then we're going to do it my way. And you're not going to like the way that I do it. But it's going to happen one way or the other. And I can extend you for the next 3 years. And I'll do it in a heartbeat to make sure that you're clean and sober. Not only does he have the case with us, but he has another one in another county. I don't know. Have you spoken to Mr. Elick yet? Okay. The problem is this, is that how are you going to pay for it?
How's he going to pay for it?
Because while he's in custody, I can pay for things. when he's out of custody, I can't pay for it. And I'll tell you, the intensive outpatient is around $500 to $600. How are you going to pay for this, Mr. Crumple?
Work.
When is the last time you've had a job?
I haven't had work in about a month, but
Beforehand.
landscaping, like I said. Landscaping, like I said, Your Honor. And around this time is when I start doing Christmas lights. Well, my stepdad does the same thing, but I kind of learned from him, so I typically do it around the season.
There's no greater role model than a dad or a mom, really.
Think you'll be able to pick up enough business to pay for, you know, pay for this?
Do you think he'll qualify for TAP funding?
I'm not sure what he reported to the probation officer, but he wrote another financial affidavit and see if he qualifies for that.
Okay, we're going to have you do an affidavit, financial affidavit, in hopes that you can qualify so that we can pay for it for you. If I can't, I want to pay for it for you. If I can, I will. That way you don't have to worry, because money is an additional stress that we don't need. I want him to have a device though. Okay. Yeah, I want you to have a device so that I know that you're not consuming alcohol. If the one time you consume alcohol, you will get another warrant and you will stay with me this time. And I'm going to tell you now, the treatment facility, the program is a minimum 6 to 8 months if you respond well to treatment. If not, you could be potentially there for a year and a half in a treatment facility. Do you understand? It's going to happen one way or the other. That's it. So once he's released, must have a job within 30 days. So you have your own company, or what about?
Pressure washing, exterior cleaning. We do Christmas lights about this time.
What about Mr. Krumpold's working?
So we don't have the work right now. I have 2 employees currently. It just wouldn't be fair to.
No, and I'm not asking you to do anything that would. Okay.
But I have told David that, in fact, for example, you have 2 weeks of parking lot striping coming up next week that, I would like him to be there. He's an amazing, amazing worker when his head is in the game. When the emotions, all those things get involved.
It's a great sign.
It gets a little more difficult, but.
That's the idea. You got to understand that this life, this life is a journey, Mr. Krumpholz. And I'm going to tell you now, how old are you? You're 22. If you don't have any money, your life really is going to suck. Really, really bad. The divorce rate is so high in this country because one reason. No one has money. And when you don't have money, what happens? You start fighting. And when you fight, what happens? And it's a cyclical process. It's over and over and over. People fight. They have no money. They have no education. They have no way of getting money. And they can't buy anything. And then they end up fighting and they end up getting divorced. You set yourself up now and you work your ass now so that when you're in your 40s, 50s, and 60s, you have money. You can go on fabulous vacations, trips. You can buy a Jaguar, go to, a Michelin star restaurant. Landscaping, you will have a very tough life. Unless you're able to have some kind of extravagant, really kick-ass business.
I put a lot of work into it. I'm very creative and it's something I do like to do. I slacked. I haven't been doing what I was supposed to do.
It starts with one thing, a clear head. And as he said, you're an amazing worker when you have a clear head. That's all it takes. Mind over matter. That's what it's about. So I will give you this opportunity. It's the last time. I'm not going to do this again. You test positive again. You pick up a new case. I will keep you with me for a very long time. Do you guys have anything you'd like to add or state?
His name is David. African David. And just like David, he had amazing, had a big heart. My son has a big heart, and he had to go through this discipline as well. And I do believe that when David decides to honor God and surrender himself to God, there's going to be a lot of things that will happen for him. But he needs to start with him wanting to be better.
When you get out of here, where are you going?
Probably back to my grandma's house.
Oh, So that's what I'm getting at, I'd like to do that. And there's a couple of things that I'd like to do. I want to give him a curfew because I don't think anything good will happen in the middle of the night. I don't want you out in the middle of the night because there's nothing good that happens at 2 a.m. and I don't want you out. I want you to stay with mom so that she knows where you're going at all times. And I want you to either faithfully work or get back into school full time. If it were me, I would have you get back into school because the more education you get, it correlates the more money you make in life. That's it. In life, if something was easy, everybody would be doing it. No, it's very, very difficult to be a doctor. That's why they make so much. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. Landscaping is an easy thing. That's why it's so difficult to make a lot of money in it. But if you get into school, get a great education, and you learn something that not many people know about, sky's the limit. I use this example a lot, and I know I got a lot of people waiting, but I have a friend of mine who, we all made fun of because he worked at Chick-fil-A, right? But he really liked it, and he did really well at it. Started, washing dishes at Chick-fil-A. He now owns 2 Chick-fil-A's, and he's making $400,000 a year, running 2 of the most successful Chick-fil-A's here in this county. Sick money he's making a year. He put his heart, put his soul into it. God, this guy's a limit. That's what's great about this country. That's what you need. And that's what's going to happen. And if not, you stay with me. You understand? So for the time being, you live with mom. You've got a curfew, job within 30 days. Let's get the TAP funding and then IOP, SOP. And then, so the other thing is that he's got the case in the other county. I don't want him traveling other than having to deal with the case in that county as well.
Which device do you want me to get, the alcohol monitoring device?
The cheapest one, probably the portable device. Yeah. If you ever have any questions, if you ever have any issues, you know where to find me. I can always help you. If you see him slipping up, just let me know or let Mr. Elick know, and we'll do everything we can to help him. If you ever have any issues, call us, stop by, send me an email. I'm happy to help you in any way. We have another guy that reached out to me yesterday, is having issues, right? So email me and we're doing what we can to try to help him. So that's what it's about. You got to communicate with us and we'll help you. All right?
Okay. Your Honor, I do have a question. Will there be PO reporting?
Every month. Absolutely.
Testing and things like that?
Absolutely. I'm putting a device on him so I know that he's not consuming alcohol. He's going to have to blow into this device daily to prove to me he's not consuming alcohol. He's also going to have to take, weekly drug tests so that we know he's not, no marijuana, no mushrooms, no nothing. No illegal drugs. You should be clean right now. Good. The next time I test you, if you test positive for marijuana, guess what happens? Right. It's not hard. Mind over matter. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for coming. All right. Good luck. Thank you, Ms. Reyes. Hey.
Hola, buenos días, ¿qué tal? Me llamo Luis Linda. Mucho gusto.
Nice to see you.
Solo miro después y le contesta nada más
Last
en
person on the
español.
very back docket.
Mírenlo ahí, por favor.
Syria Mateo.
Mateo, eso es.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Siri, you're not Mateo.
This is why second chances matter. Courts give leniency early, but once trust is broken, everything changes. A PR bond is a privilege, not a right, and it just disappeared.
El teléfono le está hablando al juez, ¿cómo le parece? Robot.
All right, Mr. Zirim Mateo.
Zirim Mateo.
You were charged with criminal trespass.
Domicilio.
Order in the court, please.
Sin permiso.
Come to my attention that you have now picked up 2 felony
Ya ha
offenses.
tenido 2 ofensas por delito mayor. Mire el juez blanco.
So, what happened in those cases?
Trespass or?
No, in the felony case?
Felony, so he's charged with fraudulent use of ID, so it says the officer dispatched to Wheeler Transit Center and he observed the complainant holding the defendant on the ground. He had a verbal exchange with the complainant and then spat in the complainant's face. Once the defendant was searched.
Wait. He spat in the complainant's face?
Yes, Your Honor. And then once the defendant was searched, incident to arrest, they found a bank card belonging to another complainant. And in regard to the harassment of public servant case.
Get upset getting arrested?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sí, señoría, no escuché lo que dijo la juez.
Let me see how that one's split as.
Mire, pues.
Is there an ICE holder?
Hay orden de detención de inmigración.
Currently, I don't see an ICE holder.
Actualmente no veo orden de detención de inmigración.
Last page on the document. We gave you a PR bond, Zerio Mateo. The only thing I asked you is don't get in trouble. You've now picked up 2 felony cases. As a result, I'm now going to revoke your bond and I'm going to raise it to $5,002. If you are able to bond out, you must appear here the next day. It looks like your bonds up in the felony courts are set around 15,000. You guys show an immigration detainer? You do not? Okay. So far, there's no immigration detainer, and I don't know. Ernesto, the felonies are set for 11/14. You want to set them for after? Or closer to? What would you like?
I can do the 15, Judge. You pull 14.
Yeah, it's up to whatever you'd like. 11/15 would be, it's a Friday, so.
Yeah, the 19th, fine.
Okay. All right, so you know that's what's expected of you, Mr. Zerium. If you bond out, you must appear here the next day.
Al siguiente día.
So we can give you bond conditions.
Para poder darle sus condiciones de fianza. Pero,
Mi hermano.
Oh, Your Honor. As it's pledged, so the complainant that he spit in the face of is the public servant. Yes, and then the complainant of the fraud case is the one that owned the card that was found on the defendant.
Que se le encontró en posesión del acusado. Señor, le voy a pedir por última vez, solo mire el juez.
Esa tarjeta la encontré nomás en el suelo.
Muy bien. Lo dice con el oficial. Síguelo.
I know how incredibly thorough you are, so I'm not going to go through all questioning, and I'll take it that you understand that this is what you're doing today is you're making a lifetime decision that is it's a difficult one. And, you know, when you start racking up convictions on your record, life gets a lot more difficult. The older you get, life doesn't get easier. It gets so much more very difficult. And when you get convictions, you become unemployable. The more convictions, be careful how you handle life, because if you don't, I'm telling you, 15 minutes will flash by and lickety split. And if you don't have a job, you don't have a career, you don't have an education, then life is not going to go well. This life is not fun without money. If you don't believe me, go on the street and ask the people on the street. You only get it. You have a trade, you have a job, an education. You understand?
Which has been a difficult decision because she is enrolled full-time in college and she's working part-time, got a good job. But, well, and we understand how this can adversely affect things.
Not interested in the PTI program.
Well, she was in PTI and there was
difficulty there. I see.
Having difficulty balancing, and that's really, we think the crux of the issue with the issues in PTI was trying to balance full-time job, part-time work, and maintaining a home that first time she's out on her own, not without, I guess, without her parents' help.
Is there any other way no other way we can help?
Well, not that we see at the moment. And we've talked to the state about potentially being back on PTI and about the potential of deferred, and we're not quite there. We talked about potential of going without an agreed rec, but she doesn't want to sign up for a situation where maybe, more difficult.
So she's currently in the PTI program now.
Well, no, she's been removed from the PTI.
Oh,
program.
remove, I see.
And so we vetted through the case and found issues we think with where we think there's potential issues in the case, but we're thinking that this is the best way to resolve it. And
You know,
so where he,
it is what it is. At some point, may not be today, may not be tomorrow, 10 years, but you're going to look back, God, why didn't I complete this thing? You know, just, you need to understand that this DWI will go on your record. 3 days in jail, credit for one. From now on, you are facing a minimum of 30 days in jail for any case that you pick up here. No more proverbial slaps on the wrist. You now have a minimum that you'll be doing if you pick up any more cases. So you need to be very careful when you get into a car. All officers do when they pull you over is they look at your criminal history. If it walks like a duck and it talks like a duck, so you need to be very careful moving forward. $30, wherever you want to go in the city. $40, it'll take you anywhere you want to go when you get Uber. That's what you need to consider from now on, even if you've had one. That's what I do when I go out with my wife. Miss Mom, you give up a lot of rights by entering into this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. Once you accept this agreement, there's no turning back. You can never take this off. Do you understand? How do you plead to the offense of driving while intoxicated? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
I'm going to find you guilty. I will sentence you to 3 days in jail, give you credit for one. I'm going to suspend your license for 90 days.
we'd ask that go, I guess, have a retroactive application to the suspension that she served from by way of the ALR suspension.
Why?
Well, she's trying to, what's your question? Why, Judge? I'm sorry, I couldn't.
The thing is this, is that how many times are we going to reward someone, especially for behavior when she's doing whatever she wants to do?
No, it's not a reward. It's to make sure that in a situation where she doesn't have a bunch of financial resources, that she can get to school and to work, and she's doing things to move forward in life. And she is enrolled full-time. She's got 13 hours in an engineering program, got a pharmacy tech license. She's working as a pharmacy tech, but also maintaining home. So the costs and process of getting a lawyer to represent her in an occupational license setting be more difficult. She's got her license active now. Asked that suspension that she served, which was a 6-month suspension.
How bad was it in the PTI program? Did she repeatedly just test positive for alcohol and dope?
No, I think there were missed. I don't think there was any positive tests. I think there were just no test, skip test.
So I have, yes, it's a failure of to report and failure to enroll in SOP and failure to maintain.
Did she do anything?
And she's been on an ankle monitor since I got the case, and she's not had any issues with ankle.
And then also, as counsel mentioned, 31 skip tests on the report. So it does not appear that she did much of anything that was required of her.
We disagree with that assessment, but
I mean, reasonable minds can differ. You know, there's also a matter of the $3,000 surcharge as well. What are we going to do with that?
weigh that in light of her financial circumstances.
Do you see what I mean? It's like one gift, but it is though. I mean, there's no jail time. She got booted out of the program. Now I'm not suspending her license. Now I'm rolling the $3,500 that she would normally pay. It's literally it's one gift after the other.
It's not. And here's why, Judge. The legislature came in, and I know the remedy is citizens go vote, but a $3,000 surcharge to an individual who has little to no money is a catastrophic amount financially.
Well, we do it. We give a 2-year payment plan, so it comes out to like $30 a month.
And we saw how the surcharge program worked for individuals, and it destroyed their license. And so what happens is then they come back to your court because all of a sudden they don't have a license valid, and then it plugs up our system with Class B charges of driving with license invalid cases. And so it's not a reward. It's understanding that me, as working a full-time job,
Here's what I'm going to
different financial position.
Here's what I'm going to do, Mr. Garris. I agree with you about the money because to me, the money does, I don't care about money. But what I care about are actions. And I really like it when people better themselves. It makes me happy because I want you. You are a woman in this life that society, it's just, life is more difficult just because you're a woman. Just because you're a person of color, life is more difficult. You need to be dependent on no one. And you should get your education. You should get a good job so that you never have to rely on anyone. You be strong, just, I'll make you a deal. Like, I want to know, you're telling me that she's enrolled in all these things. If she is, and you can show me that she's in school, she's doing this, I'm going to take the money away because the money, I don't care about the money. But as far as the license suspension goes, if you show me that she's actually in all this, and you can show me, I'll acquiesce to you because I want you to do well. I want you to leave here better than you came. You've not shown me that so far, though, right? You've not done well here. So why continue to do this? But if you show me that you're bettering yourself now, that you're in school, like you're saying, you're working as a tech there, I'll do it for you. Yeah. Show me, I'll acquiesce.
Thank you.
But in this life, you should never rely on anyone. I have 2 daughters, and the first thing that I'm teaching them is never rely on anyone. You go to school, you get your education, you get a great job so that you can just rely on yourself and you can always be on your feet. You can always make money because when you get that education, no one can take it away from you. And you can always go get another job. That's what life's about. And this, knowledge is power. All right. Please. So the 3,000.